Okay, we're gonna try take 2 on the Christmas lights tumbler. Mine's broken, so I have it kind of rigged up. I started the first, oh, there it goes. I started the first video and then I didn't realize I didn't upload the second video and it was too late by that point. I hadn't finished it. So now I'm gonna show you basically a start to finish. I'm gonna start with showing how I glitter them with epoxy, how I decal them, and then how I do the lights. All in one take so that I don't mess it up again. So first, we have a few that I'm gonna glitter using the epoxy method. And I don't have my fast set epoxy. It doesn't come until Monday and I ran out. So I'm using my Amazing Clear Cast. And it's pretty much the same difference. It's just it's not going to dry as fast, obviously. So I'm just still going to use a small amount. I do have 4 cups to glitter right now. So I'm going to do all 4 of them. And then I'm going to show you how I decal the one for the Christmas lights cup. And then hopefully the cup is dry enough or tacky enough, I should say, for me to add the lights to. If it's not, then I'll come back to it. So I have 4, let's see if I can show you, 4 cups here that need to be glittered. And I'm going to use the epoxy method. So I'll show you how I do that. I take my medicine cup and I just mark off where I need it. I usually only do 5 milliliters, but since I do have 4 cups going, I'm going to go ahead and do 10 just in case, because there's 2 different sizes that I will be doing. So I just use my epoxy. I put them in these little bottles and I mark them part A and part B so that I know which is which for when I have to refill them. This is Amazing Clear Cast. You can get it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, anywhere like that. So equal parts of part A and part B. I just put it into my medicine cup and I mark it with the Sharpie so that it's easier for me to see where the lines are. And I know a lot of people don't mix their epoxy in the same cup like this together. They do one and then the other, but I don't mind doing them together and I've never had a problem doing them together, so that's how I do it. If you do it a different way, by all means, you do you, boo. So I just mix this. If I was using my fast set, I would set Alexa on the timer for 4 minutes. For the Amazing Clear Cast, I don't do that. I don't have to worry about it being perfectly mixed for it to cure, since it doesn't have to cure in 4 hours. So I just mix it up probably about 45 seconds until it is nice and clear and there's not any like film looking through it. So I just keep on mixing until I get, so I can see it through the popsicle stick. All right. So I don't know how well you can see this, but I mix it until I can see through on my popsicle stick and there's not like a film that's covering it, and that's how you know that it's good and mixed up. And this one obviously doesn't take as long. So then I will grab a glove. I should have had all this ready, I'm sorry. And another reason why I like to spray paint as many as I can at one time and then glitter as many as I can at one time so I don't waste my gloves, because I will use a whole hand for this way I put it on. I will get my entire glove covered instead of just my finger. So then I can't really wipe it all off and use it again like I like to try to do. So the 3 glitters we're going to be using today, I'm going to be using Fairest of Them All by Glitter for All. That's going to go on a brownish base. The customer wants an old parchment paper color. So I just use Rust-Oleum paint and primer. This is the khaki color. That is what this is. And then for these, This one is going to be a cheat code glitter. So I just ombre my spray paint, and then I will put a cheat code from the glitter guy over top of that. And for this one, it's going to be just a white glitter. I would use cheat code, but I'm almost out, so I'm going to use this one from Walmart. It's basically a Walmart brand cheat code almost. This one's going to have water slides on it, which I will probably do a video on how to do as well when I get my water slide paper tomorrow. And then this one is going to be two. It's going to have, actually don't have the glitters I need. I'm going to mix two glitters together for the bottom, and then I'm going to do another glitter on top. It's going to be this cup, but in a 20-ounce version. So I'll actually grab those quick before I start so I can have everything I need. All right. Okay, so I have all the glitters that I need. So for the teacher tumbler, I'm mixing up Mixtape by Glitter for All and Party Animal by Glitter for All, just so I can kind of get all the colors of the crayons in one glitter. So to mix them up, I just take a medicine cup, pour some in there, and then just about half the same amount, so half and half. Sometimes I do a little bit more of the brighter color. I mix it up with a popsicle stick. If I don't see that I have enough of one color, then I will just add a little bit more. I think that looks pretty good as just a mixture. So those two are mixed. And then for the other part of that, I'm just using a white from Walmart. It's very close to Cindy Slipper from Glitter for All, which I also use a lot. So we will start with this one, which is going to be with the cheat code on it. So I take my mix and I do a very small amount. Okay, for some reason it stopped recording my voice. So you take a small amount of epoxy, you're going to spread it over the entire cup, making sure to get the rims and the outer edges really, really well. You want to make sure that it's a thin coat, so when you're going through it with your whole hand, you're spreading it evenly throughout the entire cup. You want it to be so thin that it's kind of like an adhesive layer, as if you were to spray hairspray all over the cup or an adhesive spray. Making sure to get the bottom, get the any indented logos that are in the cup, the lines that are at the bottom of the cup. Make sure you get all of that covered in epoxy. So I go ahead and I do all 4 of my cups with the epoxy before I do the glitter, because I have about a 45-minute work time. And again, you're just going to use a small amount. This one I did add a little bit too much epoxy to it. So later on, I can take it off with my glove if I need to and spread it onto another cup, or I'll just add more glitter, which is what I'll end up doing to this cup when it's done being epoxied over. And you just want to be very, very mindful of the indentations that your cup might have. If you're using Hog or Built Brand or Mossy Oak, those all have indentations in the cup itself. So you want to make sure that you get those really well. And I should have about 5 milliliters left when I'm done with this cup. So for 3 20-ounce cups, it only took me about 5 milliliters of epoxy to cover. So that's a really good coverage for the 3 cups that I did. So I definitely did not need to use the full 10 milliliters that I used. So I would say it's safe to play just doing a 5 milliliters to start with. And if you need more, you can always mix another 5. Just making sure that you get in those lines, in those branded labels. That will all get covered up eventually with your glitter. So there is about 5 milliliters left. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit on the 30 ounce. I actually used less on the 30 ounce than I used on that prior 20 ounce. The less is more, and I also have a lot left on my gloves, so I didn't need to use very much. But you definitely do not need a thick coat. You can usually feel it when you are spreading it down. You can feel if there is dry spots because it's going to be super glossy and wet when you're bringing your hand over it. So feel for the dry spots, look for the dry spots, make sure you get them covered, keeping very, very mindful of your rim and the bottom of your cup, making sure that that gets really good coverage. And then once this is complete, we're going to start with the glittering process. We have a little bit of epoxy left over. We'll use that for a mold later on. If I would have used 5 ml of epoxy, I would have probably not had any left over. So now I will start with a 20 ounce, and I'm going to do the cheat code glitter over it. It's an ombre spray paint. The cheat code will be an iridescent look. It'll show through. So it'll look like it's ombre with the glitter, but really it's just ombre with your spray paint, which is to a lot of people easier to ombre than it is to ombre glitter itself. Always use a piece of paper under, or a piece of wax paper under your glittering station so that you're not wasting your glitter. Any glitter that does fall out off of my paper and onto the table, I do dump into a dump cup at the end. When my dump cup is full, I make a dump cup and use all the random glitters that I have dumped. So when you are done getting the glitter where you need it, you tap the bottom or the tap your hand of the cup so that all the excess glitter will fall off so you're not wasting any. And then pour all of your glitter back into your container. And you will go again until your entire cup is covered. I am almost out of the cheat code glitter, so I do have to dump it back into the container quite often. Usually I would get the entire cup coated before I would stop, but I have had to stop a few times because I don't have very much of this glitter left. At the very end, I'll show you how to tap down all of the glitter to make sure that there are no shards sticking out for when you do your first flood coat of epoxy. At the very end, just tap the cup so that you get all your excess off, and that way you can save it and you're not wasting any glitter. The next one we're going to do is the Walmart cheat code glitter. It's iridescent from Walmart. It's going to give the same look as the cheat code from the glitter guy. It's just a smaller shards, so it won't sparkle as it does the other one. This one's going to be more of just a normal type of glitter versus a chunky glitter, although it is a little bit thicker than your fine. And you're going to do the same thing, making sure that you're covering the rims very well and the bottom of it very well. You don't want to miss any spots, but if you do, you can always go back when you're epoxying and add a little bit more glitter to it. Always slap off your excess, as you can see the glitter falling off. I always tilt these ones so that I don't get too much glitter inside the cup and on the styrofoam, because it does not like to come off, so that is a waste of glitter at the end. It doesn't just slide off like it does when you tilt it and put too much and then let it fall off the cup. Always slap off the excess glitter so that you're not wasting any. And you move on to the next one. I am working in between kids coming in and out from outside, so I will be stopping this video shortly and starting over with another one. My daughter fell, and I had to stop her from crying before I could continue. This one I spray painted the base a beige color because I will be doing a beige colored glitter. The customer wants a old parchment paper look. So with it being such a light color, it is harder for you to get a good coverage the first go around if you don't do a glitter that, or a base color that's close to your glitter. So if I were to do a white, it would look more white underneath, and I would have to do a couple more layers. If you're able to do a close color spray paint to your glitter, it will help you not have to do as many layers in the end. That's what I like to try to do, especially if you're using a light pink, a light blue, something like that. Then it's a lot easier to use that color spray paint so that you aren't using as much.